Hello and welcome to 𝗣𝗽𝗀𝘁 channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Apologies for the slight delay. We had some technical issues on my side. Usually my side is okay, but sometimes surprises do happen. Let's welcome Sumit PG. But before that, please like this video. And if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please do subscribe to our channel. And a lot of new stuff that you probably have not heard of. Here we go. Let's welcome Sumit PG. Sumit ji, namaskar and how are you?
Sri sir, namaskar, pranam, vanakkam, sadhuvan, all good and great, sir. All blessings of Lord Mahakal and your Ashirwad.
Thank you so much, sir. And viewers, many of you may not know this, but the Sultanate of Oman tends to take a neutral view on many of the issues that plague the Middle East. And it's interesting when the Sultan comes visiting India and to understand a little bit more of the import of this visit, what was talked, what was exchanged, what was telegraphed, all this and more from Sumit ji. But before, don't forget to like this video. Very new things are going to come up. Over to you, sir.
Sir, in the name of Bhagwan Sree Ganesha, let's do the Sree Ganesha of this broadcast of ours. Well, the thing is that it is not important just if we look at on the face of it, why is Sultan of Oman here? It is important at this point of time he's here. What does this mean? What does this imply? What are the bigger geopolitical messages? What are we trying to tell to the whole world? And what is the stature of India's diplomacy, which has reached a new height? So we are going to dwell into that part for around good 10-12 minutes. Then we came to know that Asim Munir is in US. What is Munir doing in US? And what is Mr. Ajit Doval doing in Iran? So all these things are happening at same point of time. And in geopolitics, there are no coincidences. All these things will have a linkage, and we'll try to decode to the best of our ability. Now, let's start with Oman. Now, we know, Sri sir, that the relation of Oman and India goes back to 1955. I think that is the time when first the diplomatic ties were established, just 5-7 years after the independence. And Oman was one of the first, Middle Eastern countries to have diplomatic ties with us. Now, if you look at last 30-40 years, to the best of my memory, we did not have a Sultan of Oman visit India. That's the first important thing. You know, it's a high and dry kind of a relation what it was there to be, because Pakistan and OIC and all that played a very important role trying to put India or portray India as a Hindu country. And now after Prime Minister Modi came in, fascist Hindu country. That is the image they were trying to portray. Now this Sultan is new. Sultan Qaboos, who was before him, he took over from him. And what is unique about Oman and what is important about Oman? First of all, if I just go back to 2020 or 1920, our trade was around, if I look between around 17-18, it was around $3 billion. Now today, it has touched $13.5 billion. So there is a 300% increase in the trade with Oman. That's point number one. Point number two, when you have such problems happening in the Middle East, when there's a conflict between Israel and Hamas. Now, India has taken the side of Israel. We all know that. Now, India is against Hamas, not against Palestine. We have tried point and again from 𝗣𝗽𝗀𝘁 trying to clarify that. And that is what the position of government of India is. Now, with such a big development happening in your backyard, and amidst OIC trying to trying to fire some shots, they're unhappy with 370 abrogation, they're unhappy with Kashmir, they're unhappy with this, they're unhappy with the sun, earth, and the moon. Sultan chooses to come here on a 3-day state visit. Now, usually a 3-day state visit is very big unless and until you are the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Now, you will ask me, bhai, what has Prime Minister of Pakistan got to do with it? Remember, Sri sir, he had been to a country for 11 days and had seen all the McDonald's outlets in all the 50 states. So, nobody met him. So, unless you are kakkad, then you can even be 20 days visit to US. But 3 days state visit is a big thing. And the way he was welcomed here, full ceremonial welcome at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. President Murmu was there, Modiji was there, and all the diplomatic niceties and all the protocol was given to the Sultan. And let's not forget, Sultan was here again before this. He was a special invitee in G20. India called him as a special appointee, as an invitee to G20, and Modiji met him and gave him all the honor and all. So now, why is Oman so important to India? What India has to do with Oman, and what do we get and what do we lose out of this? First of all, one of the first countries where we have the relation with, which goes back to 1955. But the relation and the trade, I give you the two numbers, have become very active in the last 8-9 years. What is the quantum jump? I have given you. There's a lot of Indian diaspora who is working in Oman. And I have been Oman a couple of times. I was doing something with Omantel. So I used to go to Oman and been there and, gone around Oman a bit and have a good look and feel of the place, though I have not lived there, but it was all the visits and all. So there's a good Indian diaspora in there, and Indian diaspora is very patriotic, very peaceful, and they are not into hanky-panky businesses like Pakistanis. Pakistan has been very much irked with the traditional India's relation with Oman, and ISI, OIC, and all have tried their best to portray us as a Hindu country and a kafir country and all that, but nothing has worked from that stature. Now, when you have a battle going on in your backyard and India has supported Israel, now technically speaking, as per OIC and as per jihadis, being a Muslim country, you should not visit a country which is a direct supporter of Israel in the war. Now, this has taken India's diplomacy to a new height. Why? Because before that, they were, though we are a big four country, but before that, Americans and Russians only had the privilege. You can support or with anybody, opposite side will come and visit you. No Muslim country says, I will not go and visit America because you've done a war against Iraq, or you have done Libya, or you have done any other country. Everybody will go there. Salam karne. Everybody goes there, salam karne. That is America. You love it, hate it, but that is what America is. So now with this stature, today, even China doesn't have this stature. Putin definitely has. But India has elevated to a level amidst your diplomatic stand, amidst your, geopolitical stands. People will value India above the stand you have taken. Your stands do not affect your diplomacy. Your stands do not impact your trade. And your stands do not impact the bilateral relations. It's also a acid test to the Indian foreign policy, which is not religion-based. It's not like Pakistan, which is religion-based. Though some of the Islamic countries, propagate and follow our religious-based foreign policy. For example, Pakistan, a lot of them. So India does not do that. Now, another dimension is I2U2. If you remember, sir, I2U2, you have Americans, you have Israel, you have UAE. Israel and UAE are local players, and you have India. So India is the only next global player to America. And who has India replaced? I have been telling very vocal on P-Gurus, India has replaced France and UK in the Middle Eastern continent. Now, with all these things going on, now India's stature being seen parallel to United States of America vis-a-vis I2U2 and vis-a-vis the stature of India. That point of time, I think I was going to a bit of Pakistani channels, and they used to always ask me, what does India see itself? I said, India will be the balanced act. India will try to stabilize the Middle East, and India does not have interests in Middle East. We are not trying to sell you weapons, or we are not trying to do anything. We are just trying to stabilize the things, and India is fully competent of doing it. Now, question is, sir, I might have all the intentions in my life, but do you see me like that or not? Why should other purposes see you like that? What does India have to the table, offer to the table? First of all, you are the fastest growing economy in the world today. Next 2 years, you are crossing 5 trillion. Another 7 years, you are crossing around 8 trillion, or maybe 5 trillion for sure. 5 to 8 will be somewhere in there. And in Oman, why does Oman need India? First, workforce. Second, in Oman, sir, if you have a fractured arm, this is what the Omanis have told me. If you have a fractured arm, beyond that, plaster to lag jayega. Beyond that, either you have to go to UK or you have to go to India. And UK is around 5 to 6 times more expensive than India. And more than that, what a Omani told me, Sumit bhai, it's not about going to UK and, he's saying in UK, we are a bit racially discriminated. While in India, when we go, there is no racial discrimination in India. Preferably, the person I was talking was a very rich guy. He said, I have all the money in the world. I prefer to go to India than going to UK. I can even afford going to America. For me, it's not a problem. But I prefer to go to India because we don't see that discrimination there. So that is a very, very important thing. Medically, Oman has been always dependent on India. Forget those 1% rich. 99% of people come to India and get their medical treatments done. India is the hub for medical tourism. India is the pharmacy of the world. Country like Oman doesn't have food grains. Where do the food grains go from? India. Agriculture, India. Fruits, India. Solar power, India. Medicines, India. IT, India. Banking, India. Even I had some business interests with Omantel. So a lot of it, I was working for an American company and the customer was Omantel. Even there was an Indian integrator in between. So all the work, so it was American equipment, but an Indian integrator who was doing all the work for Omantel. So the point I'm trying to make, this is why they need India. If you talk of solar, if you talk of biofuels, if you talk of access to the market, if you talk of affordable technology, if you talk of defense systems, if you talk of transfer of technology in some critical areas, if I talk of space, if I talk of education, if I talk of colleges, so many Omni students come and study in India. So that utility of India vis-a-vis the Middle East and vis-a-vis Oman has increased substantially under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. First, they might be dependent on us, maybe 3 or 4 things. Today, it has come to 15 or 18 or 20. Imagine the situation. You are supporting Israel. The next door neighbor, literally a Muslim country, of again of the Middle East is coming and meeting Indians, which according to the OIC and according to Pakistanis are these Hindu fascist regime. According to them, I don't subscribe to that idea. So this is a very, very important thing. That means Indian diplomacy is about religion. Indian diplomacy is about localized or regional conflicts. Indian diplomacy is about whatever is whom you support and you don't support. As an independent nation, we can support anybody or we can choose not to support anybody. And let me remind you, sir, very recently there was a resolution in the United Nations where we said, look, we are for immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Though the Americans opposed it, we supported immediate ceasefire in Gaza. And we are the only country wherein our Mr. Ajit Doval yesterday was with the NSA of Iran. And NSA of Iran, and today the Sultan of Oman is in India. There is no country on planet Earth where you can have, except Americans still. Americans with Iran, it's tough. But who can do this in 2 days? Your NSA can be meeting the Iranians and your Amir of Sultan can be your state guest for 3 days in your capital. This does not happen anywhere in the world. This talks about, Sree sir, that India's stature as a country, as an economy has reached at different levels. The diplomacy and the leadership of Prime Minister Modi is working. Dr. Jaishankar is doing a fantastic work. Remember, our NSA had been there. Dr. Jaishankar has been there. So all these almost Swiji, not almost Swiji. Okay, so amidst all, our foreign minister has been there. So a lot of groundwork for this thing is done. And the new Sultan, the current Sultan has a different vision about India, has a different perspective about India. He doesn't carry a lot of baggage with the old people or his predecessors had. So he's a very neutral guy and he's really looking to that relation with India. Remember another thing, the relation doesn't end here. We have a very, very important and most strategic military base in Oman, given by a port given by Omni's 𝗏𝗏, I think is the name, if my memory serves me right. 𝗏𝗏 port is given to us by the Omani. Now this port is on Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz is very strategic for us. And we have this hot and cold relations with Iran at times. The winds blow hot and cold. Now with this port, we are able to make sure our supply lines are intact. We have a military presence there. And let's not forget, so-called China's string of pearls. Our answer is diamond of, what do we call? Necklace of diamonds. So an important diamond in the necklace of diamonds where we have encircled China and Chinese assets is this port of Oman, which is under control. So we have some safeguards against this hot and cold winds from Iran. We can protect our interests on the Straits of Hormuz. We can counter China, and we can also assure Omanis that as long as we are there and our assets are there, you are also protected. And another aspect is Oman is a country where your Americans are there, where British are there. And who is next to the Oman? Next to the Oman is a country called Yemen, where I have never been. Maybe I have been once. I can't remember. Yeah, I have been once. And when you land there, you feel like you've walked 50 years back in time. 50 saal piche, seedha. And Yemen, these infamous Houthis who are in news everywhere. By the way, they attacked one more ship of a Maersk company and they set it on fire. And one more they tried to attack. Now there are a lot of shipping lines who are saying we will not operate in the Red Sea. So already a lot of trouble has started brewing there. What we predicted in peak growth, there will be a time the navies have to be sent in there. It's a matter of time. And these Houthis have now started releasing videos saying, "Bhai, hum kitne bahadur hai, how much of a bravado we guys have, and we can do this, we can do this." Now let's wait and watch how it will go. Now with this American and British presence there, and Indians having a port, the population of Oman is very less. The dependence on India for a lot of things is very, very high. And the relations is very good. Now with all these things happening, who is next to this is Yemen. Yemen Houthis. Who's controlling Houthis? Houthis are controlled by Iran. Houthis are controlled by Iran. The biggest problem for Oman is Yemen. And in Yemen, it is Houthis. And let me bring one important aspect today. A lot of people say in Gaza, I'm diverting a minute from the topic. A lot of people say in Gaza, kids are getting killed, kids are getting killed. Yes, kids are getting killed. But nobody is talking about the conflict in Yemen. In the conflict of Yemen, it was Muslims killing Muslims. I'll be very direct on this. I think 350,000 more than 350,000 people are dead in the conflict so far. And out of them, more than 70% are kids. So if I do a rough cut mathematics, I'm talking of around, how many, sir? 3 4 are 15. I'm talking about around 180,000 kids, 190,000 kids, around 200,000 kids broadly. Now, what is this hypocrisy in the world? When Islam fights any other religion, you start crying that the kids are getting killed, old are getting killed and all. What is this tyranny when Islam fights an Islamic country, Muslims fight Muslims, and around 150 to 200,000 kids get killed in this war and nobody is talking about it? You will not see even one single protest in the whole world. I don't mince my word. I'm very clear. No protests, nothing. In Gaza, you say kids are getting killed and you get money from the whole world. We sympathize with the kids of Gaza. We don't want any kid to die. But why nobody is talking about Yemen? Who is killing each other in Yemen? And why American Patriot missile batteries are protecting Makkah and Medina? Let's not forget, there is a possible threat of attack from Houthis. Who is attacking these ships? Houthis. Who is attacking cargo ship after cargo ship? It's Houthis again attacking it. And whom are American, aircraft carriers and all trying to protect from? Houthis. Whom does Houthi take order from? Iran. And incidentally, in the same Iran, our Mr. Ajit Doval was there yesterday meeting the NSA. So, is there a country in the whole world which can do these two things in 48 hours? No. Only country is India. Even China cannot pull it off. Americans cannot. Russians cannot. So, we are showing the world how this dynamics is work. And who is really sulking? Who are really sulking is Pakistan, Pakistani YouTubers and Pakistani media. Because, earlier it was kind of a hyphenation between India and Pakistan. What is hyphenation diplomatically? Hyphenation diplomatically is, I'm going to India and Pakistan. I'm going to Pakistan and India. Matlab, two sides of the same coin. India bhi jana, Pakistan bhi jana, right? Now that we used to always say we should de-hyphenate the relations. It's not India and Pakistan in the same, but India, Pakistan, India, Pakistan, India. Now the Sultan is coming to India. He's not going to Pakistan. A lot of Middle Eastern leaders come to India. They do not go to Pakistan. This is a big achievement amidst ISI. Amidst Pakistani government media, these jihadi YouTubers and all, they are doing best of their propaganda to put us or portray India in a typical religion and color. But at diplomatic circles, at international diplomacy level, when I walk the talk, when even Erdogan was here and when the Sultan is here, this all propaganda has fallen like a house of cards. So this is a very big important win for India, and the growing stature of Indian military, the growing Indian economic strength, the growing foreign exchange reserves, and the availability of market, material, skilled, unskilled, everything, manpower. You want anything, you have to come to India. I am seeing India is becoming a magnet, sir, wherein all the people are getting attracted to it. It doesn't matter what is your religion, though our foreign policy never was based on religion. It does not matter. Even in Middle East, are you supporting my ex-neighbor or are you opposing my Y neighbor? It's a very important thing. And it doesn't matter who is your friend and who is your enemy. So this I have for the first time seen happening in India. A lot of people in the Islamic world and the Middle East won't be happy with it. They would say, no, it's not right and all that. The Sultan should have not gone. But the fact remains, Sultan chose to go. This is the reason why we have to see it as a very strategic thing, because timing is very important. And what is Mr. Ajit Doval doing in Iran?
Before you answer that question, I have a small interlude. So sorry about this. I've been trying to come in for a little bit. As a child,
I didn't see you.
No problem. As a child, I was barely 6 or 7, and this is late 60s, And what used to happen was my neighbor was a veterinary doctor, and this man was ahead of his times. He not only was a doctor, he also had a poultry farm. And that farm was divided into two parts, Sumitji. In the late 60s, they were still figuring out that if you put an injection into a hen, you will get an egg. That was the first time that people were figuring out. Before that, whenever the chicken gave the egg, you took that. And that was actually a young chick. they figured out that you can give an injection and make the chicken give an egg every day, right? So we as children, right, we would just go run through the whole thing, collect all these ande, put them in a basket carefully. There was that usual that foam packing so that you can put all anda, close it. We were doing a little bit of assembly. Today, if you look at it, from the belt from Hyderabad all the way up to Mumbai, there are so many farms, egg farms, poultry farms, chicken farms, probably lamb, sheep, I don't know what other things. All of that completely gets exported from Mumbai to the Middle East, whether it is Saudi Arabia, all the way down the rim. I suspect even Iran and Iraq get some stuff from here. You can't
correct.
grow a damn thing there, guys. It is such a big industry now in India. So one other little thing, viewers, the first set of Sengols have already been dispatched. I'm out of Sengols, but I saw I'm getting orders. So I need to reorder this. So I request all of you who are sitting on the fence, whether you want to do it or not, to kindly order, because I need a certain number before I can feel confident that I can order another one and not lose money on it. This is basically saying I'm doing it as a service because this is a great cultural symbol. And I want every one of you to have it in your drawing rooms. So if you are thinking of getting a Sengol, please consider buying it, because I need to order. If I order today or tomorrow, I'll get probably 4 weeks time. I'll get the next set. So you have a bit of a waiting period. I'm so sorry about it to make you wait, but I just can't afford to lose money on this, which is why I'm saying, please place your orders. This is only for US audiences. We are also working very hard to bring down the price so that we can make it competitive in India. We have to bring it down, fair amount of work. And Canadian order Shengol Pachi, what you can do is drive across to Seattle or have a friend of yours order it from Seattle, Michigan, Detroit, Toronto, Buffalo, anywhere, wherever you are close to. You're almost always close to the US border. Have your friend order it, drive across, meet them for coffee at a Starbucks, get your Sengol. That's all I can say for now, because the trans-border shipping rate is too high, just too high. If you buy 5 at a time, maybe you can combine with your friends and buy 5, then I can think of shipping it to Canada. I definitely can do that, because then the cost per unit will go down. Right now, we are not enabled to ship you to Canada. So what you need to do is send me an email, sale@sreeiyer.com, saying I would like to buy so many units, because I have to specially ship it to you. It is not part of the website. So I need to do that. So send me an email if you are in Canada that you want. I need you to buy at least 5 minimum so that the cost for you doesn't go too high. Thank you so much. I'll back to Doval ji's visit to Iran. My head is going to break into 1,000 pieces if I don't know the reason. Over to you.
So thank you, sir. Sorry, I didn't see you. So my apologies for that. Let's come back to the discussion. What we were trying to see when we know. So this is happening here. Now we have been talking about there's a lot of movement of planes from Iran, from Pakistan to Iran, and I have been hinting at some commodity prices also might change. So there is also a possibility which is happening there. So even some electronics might be impacted. Why we can talk that when we reach there. So now with all these things going on, what is happening, sir? Suddenly we have seen Asim Munir is in United States of America. Remember, just around 20 days or a month back, 𝗒𝘅 was there. Nobody met 𝗒𝘅. Now, what worries me when I see Asim Munir and Nadeem Anjum together in United States of America, दोनों एक साथ हैं. Usually, the intelligence chief and the COS doesn't travel together. It's a protocol in Pakistan, they don't travel. What makes Asim Munir...
one stone, 2 mangoes, right?
What makes Asim Munir and Nadeem Anjum travel? And if you look at the picture of Nadeem Anjum, he looks like पिटाई अच्छी हुई है उसकी. He's not the usual one. He looks like पिटा हुआ. Now, and to add to the mystery further, sir, I was asking this time from US. Abhi aa raha hu, Sachin bhai. Now, what? No, there is some twist to the story this time. Now, nobody met 𝗒𝘅. You know who is meeting Asim Munir and Nadeem Anjum? Anthony Blinken's External Affairs Minister of United States of America, not General Lloyd Austin. Mind it, sir. There's no picture with General Lloyd Austin. If General Lloyd Austin meets, I still understand. But what is Nadeem Anjum doing there? What is his business there? Nadeem Anjum ka kya kaam hai? He's the intelligence head. Now you should be back home. Who allowed both of them to travel? Under which conditions do they both travel? There's a protocol for it. So means there is some dire need there. So when they meet Anthony Blinken, that puts a lot of, mere kaan khade ho gaye. My radar started shaking. Why are they meeting? What are the possibilities? Now, my mind tells me there are 4 possibilities. One, America has some plans vis-a-vis Iran, and they want the strategic depth of Iran, which is Pakistan. They're friends and enemies together, so they want them to cut off. Or they want to use Nadeem Anjum and his brigade to do something to Iran. One is a possibility that. Second thing can be vis-a-vis China, because Xi Jinping is giving them sleepless nights. So are they trying to get 𝗒𝙘𝘀 into the job? And ISI is the best person to get this done. Or are they trying to facilitate, or they have some axe to grind with Taliban? We don't know. China, I think not such a possibility. Third possibility is, are they planning something within India? We have elections 3 months to go. Ram Mandir 1 month to go. We have seen what happened in Parliament. Is something sinister being planned? And to make it complicated, to my misery, there's also a picture they're meeting Victoria Newland, quote unquote, Victoria Newland. Up story mein twist hai. What is Victoria Newland going to discuss with Asim Munir and Nadeem Anjum together? And you know Victoria Newland is famous for regime change. Now the 4th possibility opens here. The 4th possibility is, are they changing a regime change within the Pakistan? You know, maybe Asim Munir is the new president of Pakistan, or Nadeem Anjum, or somebody like this, because Asim Munir is losing power. He is scared within Pakistan. So has he cut a deal with Americans? Okay, I'll be in the power, and whatever you tell me, sir, I'll just do it. Just send me orders. So is Asim Munir trying to cut a deal with Americans? My suspicion is it is either with Pakistan or it's with India. Iran, possibility, China is number 4. I would rank it as Pakistan, India, Iran, then China. So there are something, because what is Nadeem Anjum doing there? That is a point of contention. Why does Victoria Newland need to meet them, and what is Victoria planning? Bhai, dimag mein kya chala? You know, she's always up to something. She went to Bangladesh and a lot of trouble started happening there. Now the COS of Pakistan is going in meeting the trouble. And we have elections in 3 months. I've been always telling you the threats are geopolitical, threats are not political. Ram Mandir inauguration around the corner. We have this parliament incident, and there are a lot of things, Sree sir, which are not reported. I'll be very honest with you. There are a lot of things which happen, and they are controlled at a very, very elementary level. This makes me suspicious. Now, why Iran is a possibility? What business has Mr. Ajit Doval got to do with Iran? When this was happening there, Ajit Doval was in Iran. See the synchrony. Sultan is in Delhi. COS and Nadeem Anjum are meeting Anthony Blinken and Victoria Newland, and Mr. Ajit Doval is meeting the NSA of Iran. So, what is really happening? So then the possibility of 4 you can take out. China looks to be out right now. So now what is number 1? Pakistan or India? Number 2 is definitely whichever takes one number. Let's say it's Pakistan, India takes number 2, number 3 is Iran. If India takes number 1, Pakistan is number 2, number 3 is Iran. Iran. So that is the percentage we are looking at. I think there was something very urgent, so Mr. Doval had to fly in himself. And let me tell you, sir, it was not a planned visit. It was not an announced visit. We don't know the agenda. We don't know kya karne gaye the. But you know, Mr. Doval usually takes these flights anywhere in the world, and you don't know where is he next day. And if he is going there person, and usually if he travels alone, not with the usual and entourage and all this, all the protocol and all, that means there is something very going to happen, something very fast. What is that? Does it have any relevance with the parliament attacks? Because we've been always thinking there can be a geopolitical angle to it. Because parliament attack or the security breach was just to say that the parliament is vulnerable. Indian security establishment is not so good. So now these developments happening, I'm really baffled to see Nadeem Anjum. He has been never with Asim Munir together. Look at last few years, sir. Have you seen a head of ISI with this? No. And they don't go well with each other. They've been fighting with each other. What brings them together? What is in it for them? The only thing which my mind can think is there is some big gain they are going to get. So Pakistan seems to be the number 1 priority, because I don't think Americans will work against the Indian interest. So Pakistan takes number 1 priority.
I was going to say that they will
Pakistan.
not work against Indian interests. No.
Americans will not work against Indian interests because this troublemaker is there. Dekho, one is a terrorist, one is a troublemaker. Terrorist is Munir and troublemaker is Anjum. So Americans will not work against India and Modi. It is gone. Iran, possibility, or Pakistan. So I think it will come down to Iran and Pakistan. But in all this happening, a couple of jihadi organizations might get a free hand, and they might try to do something sinister here. Because remember, sir, out of 10 times they take orders 7 times. 3 times they don't take orders also. So what is cooking? That is what we have said. What is cooking? We are going to keep a quick watch on the pressure cooker. You wanted to make a point, sir.
Sumitji, you very quickly, it was like a Yorker in the middle of a series of bouncers. The Yorker came and went, and I didn't get a chance to ask you this question. You said something about Pakistani planes going and flying into Iran. Is it something similar? Remember when the US was attacking, the US forces, all the different forces, NATO forces were attacking Iraq, and Saddam Hussein took and parked all his fighter jets in Iran to safeguard them from getting bombed. Is it something like that between Pakistan and Iran now?
No, these are military planes. They are private planes. Okay. These are private chartered flights. And there's a lot of Pakistani, these known flight record numbers are flying. A lot of them have no flight ID. So that means the planes are being hired from somewhere else. They're not even Pakistani registered. They've been hired. They're doing something between Pakistan and Iran. So maybe that bothers India, or that's a concern to the India. That's why Mr. Doval has gone to Iran. Bhaiya, baat karo. Let's talk. What are you up to? So, because why did I bring Oman? Because Oman, we have this hot and cold, because of this port, Iran doesn't like us. Iran is, and you see what is Iran trying to do? Iran is trying to use Houthis to make the Strait of Hormuz and the Red Sea untenable. It is soon going to become a big security risk. And with American military complex doing what it is good at, and Zelensky thanking them and all that. So there are people in America who are making weapons. There are people in the world who want weapons. And there is unfortunately the Islamic terror, which is acting as a catalyst for a lot of things to erupt. My assessment is that this war is not going to end, because the way, now if you have noticed that the frequency of attack on cargo ships has increased. Now today there was one more kidnapping of one, I can't remember the country, their ship was, they were trying to kidnap it, and the Navy was sent in to prevent that kidnapping. Now, if you start using torpedoes against the ships and destroying cargo ships, who's going to foot the bill? Ultimately, somebody is going to be hurt. Insurance companies, manufacturers, buyers, sellers, and their masters and their interests. How long can the world take you? And if the war erupts in Middle East, what is the role of Pakistan? What is the role of Iran? There are two major players, and they are working today in tandem. So what is Mr. Doval going to achieve? Will only come to know in some point of time. And why Asim Munir and Nadeem Anjum together are in your country, sir, that is something we have to keep a very close eye on.
I have a guess, but I will hold back. But see, a couple of things that you mentioned. One is, I'm reminded of Russell Peters, when his favorite line used to be, somebody is going to get hurt real bad. Somebody. I won't tell who. So that is what is happening with all these ships now that Houthis are indiscriminately attacking. As to what Ajit Doval might have conveyed to Iran, I hope he also takes with him the NCRI, Network Contagion Research Institution, research report on which country was number one in building fake narratives against India. See, many Indians don't see this because you guys don't go to 4chan. You guys don't go to Telegram and look at all the different discussion groups there. There, the amount of gali galoch that happens on India, they have some, they call it something. Indians ko kuch naam bolte hain wo log. It's a very derogatory name. And all that stuff, NCRI found out that the number one fake narrative generator against India is Iran.
You got it. You got it. Bang. On the dot, sir. You got it on the dot. And it's not only that. You see, if you see a lot of tacit support is coming from Iran to various these jihadi organizations directly here and there. A lot of money is being routed. A lot of things are happening. So Iran has today good $80 billion. And what are they cooking with Pakistan? Though they are sworn enemies. But what are they cooking with Pakistan? And you remember yesterday, there was an attack by a Sunni terrorist organization in a police station in Iran, and 12 policemen were killed. So who orchestrated that Iran? Iran thinks it's something ISI has to do with it. So it's a very love-hate relationship. So Iran blames ISI, but also they work with ISI when it comes to their interests. And the problem here is Benjamin Netanyahu. What did Benjamin Netanyahu said yesterday? Biden told him 2 days back, look, you will lose support if you don't end the war fast. Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday replied, support or no support, the war is not ending. Right? It's very clear. So there are a lot of undercurrents at work, which are working.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Sumit, I just wanted to tell you, there is one link that I had given yesterday. Viewers, I did a very detailed story about ISI's links in promoting 2 people. The guy who got arrested as part of ISI is 𝗖𝙑 and 𝗤𝘚𝘀. 𝗤𝘚𝘀's actual name is 𝗖𝙑𝘂𝘁 𝗢𝘂𝘀𝘀. He is a Muslim, I think. Okay, but he also goes as Bhajan Singh 𝗤𝘚𝘀, Harbhajan Singh 𝗤𝘚𝘀, Iqbal 𝗤𝗚𝘚. जो भी combination आगे पीछे आगे करो, उसका एक नाम है. And this guy is an author. और इसका Sancho Panza कौन है पता है? You know who is this Sancho Panza? That Peter Friedrich. And they have got so many different, ghotales. All that stuff is in that one particular video that I put out in the morning. I hope you guys saw it. But there I had included in the description section one link where NSA, America's NSA, Jake Sullivan, gave an interview to a very popular Israeli channel anchor. And he said that we are in this for the long run. He said, whatever it takes. He said, every operative of Hamas, until he is finished, Israel is not going to stop, and in United States is fully behind it. It's a very unequivocal statement, because many of these woke media, right, they were saying that Biden is opposed to Israel's role in... No. The NSA has very clearly said this thing. 15-minute interview, do watch it. Jake Sullivan is very articulate. Usne bol diya ki, no, until this is finished, we are in the game. I just wanted to tell you guys that description link, I'll pull it out and I'll put it in the comment section here, so you guys can click on that. Back to you, Sumit, while I take care of that part.
Okay, even there was one important statement adding on to what you said. One important statement came which said, look, if diplomatically the things cannot be solved, right, we will do everything what it takes militarily. This is also a line which came in. If diplomatically things do not get solved, we'll do whatever it takes militarily. This is again a statement coming from, I think Jack Sullivan gave this statement. Yeah. So that means America is going to go all out. So what is brewing? What is Pakistan trying to do? And why is Iran they are trying to tame in? As the Iran they are trying to control it? And Iran is not mending its ways. Iran is not mending its things. Houthis have got anti-ship missiles, which can take down those big ships. These are not low like those amateur things. Who gave them those? So there are a lot of questions which are under question marks, and there are a lot of things which are happening. I hope and pray we have this Ram Mandir, 𝗤𝙗𝙬 going on, Bhagwan Sri Ram, and we have elections around the corner, and we have so many things going on here. I hope and pray everything is fine here. And now, don't forget the Iran abetted Pakistani's kidnapping Kulbhushan Yadav. Of course. I mean, I personally speaking, I have no great respect or regard for Iran at a personal level. I know, as long as Khomeini is in control of things, Iran can never act normal. Well, you see, when you have a country like Pakistan, Pakistan is predictable. You know what kya karenge. While in Iran, they are not predictable. You don't know what are they up to. It is easy to work with the predictable, and Pakistan, Jihad, 𝗥𝙗𝙦 Hind, all we know, we live with that, and we are prepared with that. But here they are unpredictable. So, and we also have an enemy in the wings who is also waiting for a vulnerability in our side. That is China. China is always waiting and looking for vulnerabilities, and they are fully trying to expose them to the best of their ability. So, let's see. Ajit Doval is in Iran to set up residence of 72. I think Mr. Doval has got better things to do. So,
guys, there is doubts about 72 Houris. Houris is also could be a small cup of kismis. That 72 will be in that small cup.
Sir, ab ye to bhi aa gaya na, hur or khajur. Khajur is slightly better. Dates. So is it written hur or khajur? Even we don't know that. Maybe in due course of time we'll get some clarity and enlighten ourselves. So we are not. But these are the developments that is happening. One more thing which struck my eye. I was watching UAE. UAE is very carefully watching this Oman's visit. UAE is very, very carefully watching this Oman's visit, because the rumor is that the Europeans and the Americans have told or directed Oman to cozy up to India. कि भैया नमस्ते कराओ, सलाम नहीं, नमस्ते कराओ, भारत जाओ, नमस्ते कराओ. So I don't know how far it is true, because Americans and the Europeans, especially the Americans, are now trying to, make India into from an Asian to a regional power. And they want all these people who are in the camp to kind of recognize that power. That is the reason, because these people have been pushed here and they have been advised even by Americans, go and do as much as supply chain resilience, go and do as much of business, go and reduce as much of dependence you can on China from India. Go explore India, go and get whatever you can get from India. That is also a very subtle change which is happening in the area, although it won't be announced in a press conference. But wo jo khabar boli jati hai na, this is what you are told. Look, guys, go to India. You might say once, hey, buddy, go to India and see what you can do there. So, I mean, one line can mean a lot of things. So those things are also happening. It is not an organic movement only. There are also the push which is coming from the Western world, because Western world is taking the brunt. If you take a ship, if you drown a ship, if you set a fire to the ship, how much does a torpedo cost? Nothing. And what is the cost of the ship and the cargo? And the amount of money you need to build a shipping line, shipping business, shipping management. People who live in tents are not bothered about that. Anyway, for them, how does it matter? But the people who live in buildings like you and me, there's a time, energy, and money which is involved in this. So with all these developments happening, things are really kind of going at a very fast pace. I am worried about India. I'm worried about our markets. I'm worried about things. And I'm worried that, we have election around the corner. How is it going to behave? How the things are going to, pan out? And who all in the world are looking to take us down? And there are a lot of people in the world who are looking to take us down. And let me tell you a last interesting thing before we leave for the day. In this business, there are no permanent friends and enemies. It's not he's your friend, he's your enemy. He is your friend here, but he's your enemy here. These two are as enemies. But when it comes to a cause like this, these two will gang up. So who is whose friend and whose enemy? Nobody knows. They are all, कहते हैं ना हिंदी में कहते हैं मतलब के यार. They are all friends and foes for a particular purpose. And who will cross the chain? Who will cross the side? And when? Because when I talked to somebody senior in intelligence, he told me one thing. Sumit ji, the only fright what we always have, an agent can any day become a double agent. An agent can any day become a double agent, and that is the fright, and that is the eventual we'll live with. So who is your friend today? Is he your friend tomorrow? We don't know. How long he can be your friend? On which issue can be your friend? So when people tell me Iran is a friend, you have to be sure Iran is friend on this, this, and this. Iran is neutral on this, this, and this, and Iran is against on this, this, and this. So now in today's diplomacy, you have to really differentiate and bring it down to bits and bytes. But overall, I am happy looking at the progress between Indian and American relations. That is how it should happen. Americans should realize the importance of India. And India should also look at America in a much bigger way rather than looking at those ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya, those small things here and there, because these things will keep on happening. You cannot change it. The cabal is active, the cabal is also working. And cabal is working very hard. And imagine they work much harder than you and me. So to pin us down here and there. So don't think that people are not coming after us. People are not coming after us. And we have the elephant in the room, which I always remember. Make sure I say a line or more. That is China. China is waiting. China is waiting to hit whichever it can. I mean, and for them, trust me, they will not even leave Vladimir Putin when the push comes to shove. They go for China. All the three are problem. The priority is different. America, India, and Russia. All the three are problem. Americans may be number one, India may be number two, Russia may be number three. But they all see them like this. It is not Russia as a friend. There is nobody who's a friend of China except China is his own friend. So with these dynamics changing, if something stupid happens, what will be the outcome? That is what shatters my imagination. She said you were trying to make a point.
Just that we needed to kind of wind up so that we can take some questions from our viewers, because we are already 45 minutes and we're doing extremely well today. As always, a few more likes will help our cause a lot.
I will request, sir, like karo, sir, like karo, sir, please, please, like karo. Matlab, like is like sending your heart.
Yes.
Like is sending your heart. Dil se dil milta hai.
See, viewers, you have to watch our programs in continuity. Morning program about ISI role in shaping some of these terrorists who have been caught now. And the next one is in the business segment with Sree Iyer 𝗢𝘅, where we talked about a lot of undercurrents, how the farmers of India missed out on a huge bounty. Because you know why? Because if the farmer laws had been accepted, then see, India made a killing selling wheat to countries because of the Ukraine-Russia conflict. India made a killing exporting wheat. But then what happened to the farmer? He got the MSP. He did not get the upside. See, in numbers, I'll tell you in numbers. You got 100 rupees per quintal. This is just a measure, okay? You got, let's say, 100 rupees per quintal. India was selling it at 250 per quintal. That 150 rupees per quintal number you'd have got if the farmers' bill had been passed, because the government wanted to let you enjoy all that. Days are not the same every year. In fact, commodities are going to be front and center. Commodities is going to be king. Viewers, again, I'm telling you, many of you are farmers, okay? Write to your MP and tell them, Arey, I know the MCBC kind of words that I can think of. Support this bill. Support this bill, because that's what will help every Kisan become extremely rich, because commodities are going to be very, very important, especially when these disruptions happen. Those countries that can grow their own food and can also export, also have the naval power to make sure the export goes to the country it is intended for. Not many. So just wanted to add that. Yes.
Just two lines, sir. I have been hinting at commodities for quite some time. Even property prices, I've been hinting at the stock markets for quite some time, so that people can get the subtle hints. Second thing I want to tell you, very interesting. This year, I predict that our exports of India will be hitting somewhere around 950 to $1 trillion. $1 trillion our exports will be hitting. That's one prediction. Point number two, you'll be surprised. I was reading through some data. I love to go through data all the time. You know what is the highest order on Indian, the Swiggies and all? It is 250 biryanis per minute. 250 biryanis per minute is the highest order, is the highest order commodity. And around millions of people have made debut into these apps ordering biryani. And one more striking piece of data. Out of 250 biryanis per minute, 249 are non-veg and only one is vegetarian biryani. So now next time I'm going to have...
That's the one you ordered.
Maybe you or me ordered galti se. No, the next debate we're going to have is what is the national food of India. We're going to have that debate one day. This was a striking piece of evidence, right? 250 biryanis and one vegetarian biryani. 249 are non-vegetarian.
Thank you, sir. And let's take Q&A. Sirji, one request, 1 minute per question. Go ahead. Questions, please.
Jaldi karte.
Magnet Ranga, namaskar ji. Any latest info or scoop on Parliament security breach?
Ranga sir, the mastermind is being arrested, and there was one more guy who was missing. He has been arrested. All the people who were suspected are now arrested. A 𝗤𝙗ℎ hogi, they will be asked, and we will and ultimately come to know what it is. One thing I can tell you, Ranga sir, these are not the people. These are only the smallest fries. We have to really look at the people who were running and controlling them. The day we know that, when it is officially announced, then we can discuss and we'll take that up in quite detail.
Next one, please. Kesar wants to know, Congress is starting crowdfunding from Monday. Is Congress trying to make up the loss of cash from Jharkhand, 𝗣𝗫𝙬 𝘉𝑒𝑚 for election funding?
आज 𝗣𝙬𝙤 𝘢𝙬 ji ka statement bhi aaya tha. I was going through the statement. I was laughing my lungs out. I then thought my lungs will break, puncture. So I stopped it halfway. I mean, crowdfunding. Interesting.
Next one. Nitya Kalyani Alai wants to know, Sumit ji, can you elaborate about the Hindu Sheikh of Oman? There was one Sheikh long time ago.
Yeah, there was one Sheikh long time ago. Because in Oman, I think you can even be a citizen, you can get the passport. Oman is the exception in the Middle East, where you can get and there was one Hindu Sheikh which was elevated as given was a very higher-end role. I can't remember his name. Sorry, it slipped my mind. It is true. Whatever you heard about a Hindu Sheikh of Oman is true. And in Oman only you can get a citizenship. While in other, like in Dubai or UAE, you don't get the citizenship. But Oman is an exception to the rule.
Next one, please. Atul wants to know, what about shipping to UK? This is about single. Stay tuned, Atul. We will give you information on that also. Once we have a price that is a better price point, because there is VAT in Europe, that is also additional taxes. A lot of things like that have to be taken into account so that we don't make it very expensive for you. We are working on it. Yes, we will keep you posted, Atul. Thank you so much. Next one. Narayanan Subramanian wants to know, do you think POK will be taken back by India without bloodshed by Modiji after 2024 elections?
Sir, I am not sure about with or without bloodshed, but what I can tell you is minimalistic bloodshed. That I can tell you right now, but with or without, it's a very black and white answer. Look, the way geopolitics is changing, it's very difficult to predict in today's time. What will happen? Why, for example, what is Mr. Doval doing in Iran? I don't know. A lot of things can be related, might be related, or should be related, whichever way.
See, what I have heard is on the border, they have these jumbo screens on India side showing a lot of programming. On the other side, they can just watch because they don't even have electricity.
That is Karen sector. Half of Karen is in India and half of Karen is in Pakistan. So on our side, we have put the jumbo ops, what would we call as psycho ops. So, and we are putting more and more, and people from the other side are coming and just looking at that screen. So it has become a tourist point to see how much development India has done and how they are literally, how are they literally stealing Chinese used toilet paper for their toilet paper.
Next one, please. Pranesh Rangarajan wants to know, Namaste, sir. Why people, including Israel, cannot control AK in Iran? What is AK? I don't know.
Khomeini.
Ayatollah Khomeini. Despite knowing the fact that half of the world's terror is with him, won't his absence make Iran a safe country? Your views, please.
His absence will make world a safe place. Forget Iran. Iran will be safer. But as I told you, there are no permanent friends and enemies. It's a present continuous stream of conflicts. Look, Obama helped Iran to reach where it is. And Americans voted Obama for change. And if this is the change what Obama got for America, well, you voted for it. So whom do you want to believe now? Trump? When Trump is not the president anymore right now.
Next one, please. Venture Dent wants to know, sir, what's your view on the effect of trade movement in the Red Sea after the Houthis have given attack warnings?
Honestly, sir, this is an area of concern. I have been watching this development very carefully. And there are a few things which are coming, but I don't want to kind of sensationalize people and unnecessarily panic people. But it's a reason of concern. I would tell you don't get paranoid, but this is a reason of concern because you are up against people who come in a $200 boat who are interested in the life after death, and they have those small arms and those borrowed things wherein they don't mind, even if they can. I mean, how do I tell you? It's like you use a firecracker to set a fire to the those big gas tanks. What is the worth of a firecracker to a gas tank? These are those small firecrackers. That is their problem. They have nothing to lose.
Next one, please. Thank you, Sandhya Artignal ji, for your donation. Thank you, Ravi Malhotra ji. Doval Iran merchant ships or forget oil to China?
No, oil to China will still make its way, sir, but there will be problems. Look, Iran has a deal with China. Remember, Iran has a $500 billion deal with China, which Chinese have not honored so far. So Iran needs money. And China is a country, who will walk or sleep with anybody. It doesn't matter to China. So it's not that, let's see how do the things pan up. If the fires reach to that level, then everybody will be impacted, even you and me, wherever we live in the world.
Yes. Next one, please. Thank you, Anandan Ramanathan, for your generous donation. Next one. Neeru Motiani wants to know, can USA be trusted?
Well, what is the option you have?
Neeruji, do watch my monologues. I have done who in the U.S. Department of State hates India. I've done who in the U.S. Department of State hates Israel. I did today morning about this guy that ISIS guy that was caught today in Maharashtra. How he was trained by ISI. 3 times the guy has managed to escape. I mean, he will go to trial. He gets caught for his role in terrorist attacks. He goes to trial and then no witness shows up. That is how he has been escaping. This time also, I hope, now of course the law is much more stricter. It might be difficult for him to escape. But they have gamed the system. The Pakistanis know fully well how India's court systems work, and they have gamed that system. India needs to really clean up its judiciary. Next one, please. Pura Vida wants to know, vlog. When government of Bharat declared Khalistani as terrorist group?
I think it should happen soon, but don't expect anything before 2024. All after 2024. May.
Next one, please. Murli Rao, do we really need POK?
Sir, we needed 3 reasons. One is for water sources. Second is we have access to the Wakhan corridor and Central Asia. Third is if we get POK, the Chinese interests in the region will be impacted. Fourth is, as a superpower in making, you cannot have your land with any other country and say we are a superpower. We can, if you can't protect your own land, how can you ensure how can you be the guarantee of protection for other countries? That is what superpowers do. And if you look at the Russian fight with Ukraine, what is it about? Now you can't have NATO in the Russia's backyard. The fight is about that.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sumit, and we managed to finish it within the hour. Thank you so much again, viewers, for your support. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. And also, if you want to order a Sengol, don't forget, do it right now so that I can place the order for the next big bunch. We are also trying to bring the price down, but that's a separate project. I just wanted to keep you all abreast. Thank you once again, Sumit. We'll see you again tomorrow. Our favorite neighbor, China, this time. Thank you, sir. Namaskar.
Sri sir, namaskar, pranam, and Bharat Mata ki jai, Vande Mataram, aur jate jate as always, Har 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 Mahadev.
Thank you.